If you've seen these 10 shows, then you have great taste, because these are Prime Video's most popular shows of all time, which I'm going to reveal today. But there's a twist. I always see Amazon shows being referred to as Dad TV, which are stereotypical shows your dad or grandpa would watch. So I'm also going to keep a Dad TV counter as we go through each show to see if this reputation is actually true. This ranking is based on data from Nielsen. You can check out the description below for more information. Now let's start our list with number 10, Bosch. This show ended with its 7th season in 2021. It was the second most watched show on Prime Video in that year. There aren't many streaming shows that have made it to season 7, but Bosch ranked second among them. It's based on a series of best-selling novels by Michael Connelly and is a textbook example of Dad TV. It's about a former Special Forces officer who is now a homicide detective in the LAPD. He investigates suspicious deaths and follows trails of corruption, including the dark side of the police department and his relentless pursuit of the truth. One of the most upvoted reviews says it's one of the best police dramas out there. It's gritty, suspenseful, and the acting is terrific. I haven't seen this show, but my wife's grandpa loves it. Number 9, The Summer I Turned Pretty. This show currently has 2 seasons, and season 3 is expected in 2025. It was the 5th most watched show on Prime Video in 2023. And in terms of season 2 shows, it ranks 5th for Prime Video and 27th among all streaming services. Season 2 actually saw a huge increase in viewership over season 1, which suggests there was good word of mouth. It's based on a trilogy of young adult romance novels by Jenny Han, which are about a girl who is caught in a love triangle between 2 brothers as she deals with her first love and first heartbreak during the perfect summer. This is clearly not Dad TV. One of the most upvoted reviews says, even though there are cliches and irritating characters that make irritating choices, this show is comforting and entertaining. And also, they're Team Conrad. When I surveyed a Gen Z focus group, it said the show is cute and dramatic in a good way, but the characters are corny and cringe. So my wife and older sister also like this show. Number 8, The Marvelous Miss Maisel. This show ended with its 5th season in 2023 and was the 3rd most watched show on Prime Video that year. There aren't many streaming shows that have made it to season 5, but The Marvelous Miss Maisel ranked 6th among them. It's about a woman whose perfect life is upended when her husband suddenly leaves her for another woman. But then she discovers she has a talent for stand-up comedy, and she uses this to reinvent her life. The most upvoted review says, this. Enough said, but then it also says, this is what a real comedy series should be. My wife and I watched the show together, and we really liked it. All the characters are hilarious, especially the main character, the manager, and my favorite character, the dad. And while I wouldn't consider it Dad TV, I would recommend that dads watch it. Number 7, The Terminal List. This show currently has 1 season, and season 2 will be released in 2025. It was the 4th most watched show on Prime Video in 2022. And in terms of season 1 shows, it ranks 5th for Prime Video and 28th among all streaming services. It's based on a book series written by former Navy SEAL Jack Carr, which is about a former Navy SEAL officer who investigates why his entire platoon was ambushed during a high-stakes covert mission. Definitely Dad TV. The most upvoted review says it's an edge-of-your-seat mystery spy action thriller with a healthy dose of revenge-seeking thrown in there too. Number 6. The Wheel of Time. This show currently has 2 seasons, and season 3 is expected in 2025. It was the 4th most watched show on Prime Video in 2023. In terms of season 2 shows, it ranks 3rd for Prime Video and 24th among all streaming services. There was a pretty big drop-off in viewership from season 1 though. It's based on Robert Jordan's book series, which apparently has 2,782 named characters in it. Here's the synopsis. A mysterious sorceress, along with her loyal bodyguards, take 5 young people on a dangerous and world-spanning journey, believing that one of them might be the reincarnation of the dragon, an ancient and extremely powerful figure prophesied to either save the world or destroy it. While I'm not going to count this as dad TV, you could consider this a niche dad show, as dads often like watching fantasy shows like Game of Thrones. To be honest, a lot of the reviews for the shows were pretty negative. It seems like they were all from fans of the books who said the books were a lot better. Number 5. Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. This show ended with its 4th and final season in 2023, but there's currently a movie in the works starring John Krasinski. It was the 4th most watched show on Prime Video in 2023, and in terms of season 4 shows, it ranks 2nd for Prime Video and 10th among all streaming services. It's about an up-and-coming CIA analyst who uncovers a major terrorist plot and is thrust into a dangerous field assignment for the first time. This is classic dad TV stuff. Most upvoted reviews says it's suspenseful and they binged season 1 in one day. Another popular review said season 1 was good, but season 2 was horrible. Now, season 1 did have the highest average rating, and it fell off from there. But the season 2 to 4 ratings are still solid. I haven't seen this show, but my older sister has and liked it, but also said season 1 was the best. Number 4. The Lord of the Rings of Power. This show has 2 seasons, and season 3 has not yet been confirmed. It's the 4th most watched show on Prime Video so far in 2024. And in terms of season 1 shows, it ranks 2nd for Prime Video and 10th among all streaming services. This show is an epic drama set thousands of years before the events of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. It follows an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new, as they confront the long-feared reemergence of evil to Middle-earth. This show is reportedly the most expensive show in TV history, with season 1 costing an estimated $60 million an episode, which is 4 times more expensive than the final season of Game of Thrones. To be honest, the reviews for this show aren't the best, with the most common themes being, it looks great visually, but the writing is bad, and fans had really high expectations, but were disappointed. Which makes sense, given it was always going to be compared to the movies, which are considered some of the best movies of all time. Similar to The Wheel of Time, I would not consider this traditional dad TV. Number 3, Reacher. This show currently has 2 seasons, and season 3 is expected in 2025. It was the 2nd most watched show on Prime Video in 2023. And in terms of season 2 shows, it ranks 1st for Prime Video and 7th among all streaming services. Season 2 actually saw a 52% increase in viewership over season 1, which is really good for a show and suggests there was good word of mouth. It's based on a series of 24 novels by Alan Richson. There were also some Tom Cruise movies that came before the show. Here's the synopsis. When retired military police officer Jack Reacher is arrested for a murder he did not commit, he finds himself in the middle of a deadly conspiracy, full of dirty cops, shady businessmen, and scheming politicians. With nothing but his wits, he must figure out what is happening in Margrave, Georgia. The most upvoted reviews say it's true to the books, and is a surprisingly good show with great action scenes and a likable main character. Number 2, The Boys. This show currently has 4 seasons, and is expected to end with its 5th season in 2026. It's the 2nd most watched show on Prime Video in 2024 so far, only behind the number 1 show on our list, which we'll get to in a bit. And in terms of season 4 shows, it ranks 1st for Prime Video and 5th among all streaming services. This show has actually grown in viewership each season, which is a sign of a really good show. It's about a group of vigilantes who set out to take down corrupt superheroes who abuse their superpowers. The premier team of heroes in the show is called The Seven, and they're parodies of DC's Justice League. It's based on a graphic novel that is definitely not family-friendly, like typical superhero content. I think this is debatable, but I would consider this dad TV, but niche dad TV, as it's violent and gory, so it's not for all dads. The most upvoted review says it's a welcome change to the never-ending superhero films from Marvel and DC, and I definitely agree with this. I think it's a fresh take on the superhero genre and is also really funny, which is why this is TV Guide approved. Number 1, Fallout. This show currently has 1 season, and season 2 will likely be in 2026. It's the most watched show on Prime Video in 2024 so far, and in terms of season 1 shows, it ranks first for Prime Video and 8th among all streaming services. Here's the synopsis. Years after a nuclear apocalypse devastates America, a violent raid of bandits on an underground fallout shelter forces one of its residents to set out into a barren wasteland filled with radiation, mutated monsters, and a lawless society of those who remained on the surface. It's set within the same universe as the popular video game franchise Fallout, but it's an original story rather than an adaptation of the games. While I would not consider this dad TV, it does have some strong dad TV elements, like one of the main characters. The most upvoted review says it's probably the best gaming adaptation ever, up there with shows like Arcane and The Last of Us, and I definitely agree. I've talked about the show before in a previous video. My wife and I both watched it and really liked it, meaning this is TV Guide and Mrs. TV Guide approved. It was funny, unique, and had a lot of elements from other shows that I really liked. So to recap, here's what the final top 10 list looks like. And our final dad TV calendar is at 5 out of 10, which I think is some pretty strong evidence that a lot of Amazon shows are in fact dad TV. Here are all of this episode's official TV Guide approved shows, and also the shows I'm currently watching.